So one of the unique opportunities studying a technical degree or working in a STEM field is publishing and presenting papers. And we have a student friend who's published several papers back in their home country and also here in America at international conferences, and is going to give you guys step-by-step guidance on how to do that to really boost your profile and contribute to your industry. Check it out. Hey friends, welcome to Shine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Shine Coaching, we love helping people be successful in their cross-cultural journeys, especially when it comes to their jobs, their studies. And I've loved interacting with thousands and thousands of friends like Jay, learning from them and passing that information to you guys through Shine Coaching. And today we're going to talk about publishing, presenting papers. Jay is going to tell you his experience from doing that several times, getting to present in amazing conferences, and even has some really good tips at the end as well, advice for students and mistakes to avoid in this publishing process. So stay tuned to the very end. But Jay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you for inviting me always to share and contribute my experience with the international students. Be it like coming from India, like other countries, or currently studying in USA. Yeah, so myself, Jay Shah, I have received my bachelor's degree from University of Mumbai in 2015. After that, I worked for a year and a half in multiple capacities, both in like education sectors as well as in telecommunication sector. And after that, I wanted to pursue like higher studies. So as all aspirants and prospective candidates, I applied to several universities. I got admitted to Southern Methodist University, which is a private university based in Dallas, Texas, USA. I completed my master's degree with specialization in telecommunication and network engineering. And I graduated in December 2018. And after that, I'm in working, with my STEM OPT. I started my journey as a DevOps engineer, then came into consulting world, and currently I'm a cybersecurity consultant at EY, which is Ernst & Young. So yeah, throughout this span of 5 years, I gained a lot of experiences, learned a lot of mistakes, and network with a lot of great people, both in my universities, in conferences, in my office, and in my communities. So, and I've been always active, not only just working, but also did a lot of publications, speaking in a lot of various conferences and universities.
Definitely, Jay, you've gotten some great work experience with some fun companies here in America. Let's go back to the beginning though. And how did you kind of get your start into research papers and publishing them in these technical circles?
I started my journey way back in 2014. So that was my final year of undergraduate year, basically like second over year, it's senior year in USA. So, and we had a project to submit. I think it was like roughly around I would say 200 marks or something in your final year. And my professor, basically, who was my mentor for the project, she advised, apart from prototype, if you can even publish your paper in research journals, and it can be like anything, but at least you need to have like some technical writing apart from demoing and doing what is a proper prototype or building or creating a presentation. So it was like a batch of three friends, and so there were basically we were 3 co-authors and the professor. So we started drafting the paper, and we published in one of the conference. So that was basically back in Mumbai, India. That was the turning point that I got a feel area of interest where I can continue writing more papers. So and it was published in one of the research papers. I didn't present it; I just published it, and it was then publicly available. So if anyone wants to read it and do citations and take some references, people or students can do it. So that's how I began my journey, 2014, 2015. And the good point was my mentor, I recall the name Vrinda Ullas. She was a PhD too, got a PhD degree. So she mentored me, telling that if you want to go and pursue higher studies in overseas and get into good university, of publication is always beneficial to your profile. That will boost your overall profile apart from SOP, LOR, and your competitive exams, GRE and TOEFL, IELTS. and that helped me eventually. And after 2014, in 2016, again I published another paper, uh, and that helped me to get admission into various universities in US.
That's awesome. Yeah, not only was it just part of your studies back home, but it also boosted your opportunities and your admission profile, which is something people don't really think about as an extra thing you can add to that. And then so Jay, once you got to the States, what were the things that you published, presented while you were studying and working here?
I continued my journey over here. I didn't stop. So back in 2017, I took a course called Software Defined Networking, and it was kind of more like theoretical with some assignments, quizzes, and everything. But our university had research papers, like how we can, if you want to present a papers, it's called like a research day. So I just asked my program director and a professor, I'm interested in publishing a paper. So it was like, before publishing, let's just do like a poster competition. Write down your ideas on a piece of paper, create a presentation, and first deliver as a poster so that you get experience, and that eventually converted in writing a paper. And the paper was accepted in one of the conference in Lexington, Kentucky. And over there, we delivered with my professor and my colleagues. Like it was basically a co-author with some of the other friends as well. I continued the journey over there, and then in the consequent next year, 2018. I got another opportunity to where I was a TA at my university, teaching assistant, and I also got an opportunity to create a new course called DevOps. So over there, I wrote a couple of papers on cloud computing, on DevOps. I submitted in various universities like University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Columbia University, because the conferences were basically hosted in those universities. So it was not like back in India where I just published my paper. Over here, it was like publication plus presentation. So, and my universities helped that because you have to pay a couple of you have to pay fees to go to attend the conferences. So my university was supportive. They took care of the finances and everything. And after graduation, also I continued, and in 2018, 2019, I published another paper. Though I graduated, I continued, with my, passion and ambition. I was working full time in company. I contacted them, my manager, and they were like, okay, it's pretty cool. You can, go outside and continue writing technical papers, publish in research journals, and you can attend the conferences.
So that's amazing, Jay. We'll definitely have links in the video description if you guys want to check out some of those papers and some of the cool things that he's referencing in this video. But now let's get some more practical. So what are some of the journals that students can really focus on for getting published?
So some of the key journals and conference proceedings where students and working professionals can publish is first is IEEE, second is Springer, and third one is Advisor. And the remaining ones can be conference proceedings, some of the third party and private journals. Some of the papers where students can publish are on maybe like which is related to your universities where they are partnered or tied up with. But these are some of the main ones where students can publish. But you can look online at a website if you are enrolled in some of the technical societies. They have their own sections where you can publish your papers.
So Jay, what are some of those important parameters that people need to know about for publishing a paper?
So first and keymost aspect is like look for the conferences which are not fake. So there are a lot of scam happening that you will see like thousands of conferences and it will be easily get accepted. Your paper will the paper will get easily accepted. But look for the conferences like the history of the conference. Look for the impact factor. Impact factor is something on range of 1 to 5. So if it's closer to 5, that means the conference is well known and it has a lot of good history, and a lot of people have already published papers, not only in like one domain. For example, if you're in data analytics or AI ML, So not only in those domain, but students have published in other domains as well. So look for the journey of the conference. Third important part is look for the names of the editors, like who is the chief editor, who is the co-editor of the conference, who is a reviewer of the journal of the conference.
Jay, especially for beginners, what are some of those parameters that people need to know about writing and publishing a paper?
So if you're very new to technical writing and you think that I want to go into the research world, or just basically for based on your degree, or if your professor has asked, I would look for like some of the key parameters. One is coming up with the idea and topic, because that has to be unique, because on the internet, on the conference websites, in the magazines, or maybe like technical societies, you will find the same idea. So look for the unique idea, because it will be like when you complete the entire paper, you submit it, you get rejected because the idea is already is there, and it can be sometimes called as stolen ideas. So look for a unique idea you can discuss with your peers, with your professors, with your if you're in industry, you can contact your technical managers. So you have to do a lot of research around your idea and topic. Another thing is plagiarism. That is very important. If you are a student, you already know that submitting assignments, you have a plagiarism check. Similarly, in writing papers, that is plagiarism check. And if the plagiarism is less than 30%, then only your paper will get selected. So that is very important. There are a couple of proprietary tools where you can download and check your plagiarism before submitting a paper, else it will be called as copied, and your paper won't get accepted. Finally, I would say look for like citations and references. The more amount of citations you have, the more amount of references, the better your paper quality is. Because end of the day, it's not just like for the sake of purpose, so for the sake that you want to publish the paper, it should be helpful for the society and for the community. And if like I want to research about some of the topics like data analytics, AI, ML, or on Java, I would go on the internet, I would look for the white paper. So it should be beneficial to the readers as well. It's just not like, I want to just publish to create a profile, but a good quality paper is always beneficial. So citations is important, references is important, and the thorough research is very important. So these are some of the parameters.
You've got the paper written. What's the process for either getting these papers published in a journal or even getting accepted to present at a conference?
Understanding the process is very important, because some of the things students get misunderstood by, or there are like hidden processes which we don't know. So I would break this process in two parts. One is like before submission, and one is after submission. Before submission, if you want to, for example, you have the idea, you have drafted the key your topics, you have your summary and your gist of the paper ready. First and foremost is, I would say, look on the conferences which are upcoming in your city, in your universities, or in your country. It can be related and tied up to your own university, or it can be a global conference. And another thing is, you can present and publish this at another university too, which I did over here in United States. Once you have selected this conference, I would say do a thorough research about this conference and this publications, because some of this can be a scam. It can be a fake journal as well, because some these journals will just ask for money. Basically, can be in INR, can be in USD, can be in pounds, and they don't have good impact factor. Impact factor is very important for publishing a paper from a range of 1 to 5. If it is closer to 5, like 3.5, 3.8, that means the conference is better, since it has a lot of good history. A lot of students have already submitted the papers. There are a lot of call for papers in various domains, can be cloud computing, mobile computing, embedded systems, electrical engineering. It can be under power systems, and the latest technologies are under AI, ML, Android, for developers. look for these domains. If there are like a lot of domains, that means the conference has a vast variety and it is asking, a lot of call for papers. And the third important area for looking for the conference is the editor part. So look for the names of the editors like co-editor, chief editor, technical editor, and some of the reviewers who will review a manuscript. Manuscript is basically an abstract. And if they are, abstract is basically like between 100 to 300 words. If they like it, then they will only, accept the abstract and they will let you know that, you can submit the entire paper. So look for those editors if they have a very good history, if they are qualified, if they have a PhD degree, or they have like, various other expertise in your domain, then it makes sense to submit your paper in the conference. Another important thing is like once you submit one paper in the conference, you cannot submit the same paper in any of the other conferences. Then else it will be called as copied and plagiarized because it's a unique topic, unique idea, and it is only allotted to one conference. The same topic, same idea, and the same co-author's name cannot be published in other conferences or other journals. So keep that in mind. That is very important part. So the second breakdown is like once everything has been, once you have done your research about the conferences, your journals and everything, it's time to submit your manuscript. A manuscript is basically your abstract. It can be between 100 to 300 words. And once you submit this abstract, you'll be notified whether it's accepted or rejected or if there are any comments. Once it's accepted, you're ready to submit the entire paper before the deadline. And typically the paper length is between 3 to 8 pages, depending your topic, depending your interest, and whatever you have done your research. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind about the processes. Once you have submitted the paper and everything, the reviewer and the editors will notify you whether it's accepted or if there are any comments you have to address. And again, you have to address those comments and you have to resubmit it back. So there will be like to and fro of a lot of revisions, but make sure you complete the process well in time because you have to submit before the deadline. And once it's accepted, you will be notified to, okay, you're ready to come and present your paper in the conference. It can be remote due to COVID and pandemic, or it can be physical as well, in person. It can be in some of the universities where it will be hosted, can be in your same country, can be abroad, depending on the conference hosting policies. Once you attend the conference, you have to present your paper between like 15 to 30 minutes. Typically, length of slides can be 30 to 45. Just the entire idea, whatever you present, researched and drafted and published in the paper, it can be in the same type you have to present in front of the audience, in front of the judges. And if there is a demo, you can also show a demo. It can be on website, it can be a tutorial, or it can be a prototype as well. So the options are on you based on what the reviewers are mentioning. Another key part is in the conference, the judges, which is basically the reviewers and the editors, they will also see if this paper and their topic can be qualified for the best paper award on the domain. So if there are like 5 different domains and each domain will have the best paper award, and there are various categories. So that can be also be considered. So it's a plus point for you if you go and present your paper, or you can just opt out just for publishing and not to present. So depending on your bandwidth, depending on the scope, you can either publish or present. And once it's presented, conference is, you attended the conference and everything is good. I think after a month or 2, the paper will be published in the journal and it's available publicly to the audience. Some of the journals have tie up with several other publishers, for example, Google Scholar, some of the third-party organizations as well. So if you just type your paper on Google, your you can see, it's listed in the journal, what are the views, what are the comments, audience has listed out. So this is typically the whole process from doing your own research about the conference and journal, and towards the end is presenting and publishing your paper.
Fantastic. My friends, if you're learning a lot and getting value, be sure to like this video, hit that thumbs up to say thanks to Jay sharing his experiences. We've got a few more great things to cover about publishing, but our chai question for this video is, have you ever published or presented any papers before? Let us know in the comments. Tell us if you guys do have any experience. What was the paper? What was the journal? What was the conference? Let us know if you guys have done that before as well. We'd love to learn from that. But Jay, next, real quick, talk about kind of some of the different formatting and sections in a research paper that people need to be aware of.
So the typical frame of the paper is first definitely the topic, the author details, your name, university name, email address, and then starts the key pattern. First is the abstract. It can be the introduction, literature survey, market research, can be your, if there is a graphical representation, you can submit and attach those. If there are any comparisons, technical diagrams, architectures, acknowledgements, towards the end is citations and references. So this is the body of the paper, but you can change it based on your needs and based on the conference topic. And typically you have to list out between 3 to 8 pages, and if it can go longer, I've seen, and if you also do your own research, papers can go up to 50 pages as well. So it's the main is the content. So based on the conference guidelines and what are the norms, you can start drafting your paper.
And Jay, what are some of the mistakes that you've made in writing and publishing and presenting these technical research papers?
So over the span of this 4 to 5 years, as I published quite a lot, 5 to 6 papers, some of the mistakes I have learned is do not keep towards the deadline. Make sure you do a thorough research. Since there will be a lot of revisions, make sure you do it before the deadline so that you get ample amount of time to review. And I would always suggest to do a 2 to 3 review, 2 to 3 steps of review, not just by yourself, but it can be get a thorough review by your co-worker or be a professor or any senior, since that some of the mistakes on some of the spelling, there can be like spelling, grammar mistakes, or you need to wordsmith. So I would suggest to do some of those 2 to 3 steps of review. Another thing is plagiarism. That is the main part. One of the paper I still remember, it has like crossed 30% of plagiarism, but the reviewers mentioned that if you can cut down your paragraph, you can resubmit the paper. So I took a couple of months, edited the paper, drafted again, and submitted the paper again, and then it was accepted. So plagiarism check is very important. It should be less than 30%. That is the ideal frame. If it is less than 30%, that means your paper has a good quality. And if it is like less than like 10, if it is between like 5 to 10%, then your quality is fabulous, and it can also be considered as the best category. So these are some of the things I kept in mind, throughout this process.
That's great. And Jay, what about some just final tips here at the end? Advice for new people who are wanting, whether they're students or professionals who want to get into publishing papers?
So you are a full-time student or working professional, anyone can submit the paper. If you have considered your master's degree as non-thesis, you still can publish your paper. Myself, my degree was non-thesis. I published a couple of papers. So just continue writing your skills, whatever you have, and because that will all in this process, you will also learn a couple of soft skills like technical writing, collaboration. Because if there are like a couple of co-authors, you will collaborate, you will break down your roles and responsibilities. So that way you will learn a lot of soft skills. You will also learn time management, since you have to submit the paper before the deadline. It can be like 3 weeks to like 3 months. And finally, I would say just do a lot of research, like new topics. If there is you have a demo of your project, you can still publish the same project in one of these journals or conferences.
Amazing, Jay. Thanks for sharing that. My friends, we're also going to be making another video with Jay about how to overcome homesickness, especially if you're studying and working abroad here in America. That's really going to help you with culture shock and homesickness. You might also recognize Jay from some of our other videos he's made about visa interviews and studying MS Telecom here in the States. But so be sure to check out those other videos as well. And we're going to have all the links you need from this video about writing, publishing papers and journals and conferences. So it's going to really help you out. Jay, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out and giving us a deep breakdown to help people really build their profile and share their knowledge.
Thank you very much, Rob, and thank you, audience, for listening to this and watching this video. And do see the comment section. There are a couple of links to the various for the conferences and some of my papers which I have published.
Yeah, and once you guys go ahead and write your papers and publish them, let us know, tag us. We want to see that this video has helped you guys out. Be sure to connect with us online on social media like Instagram and LinkedIn. Make sure you're subscribed to the Chine Coaching newsletter so you don't miss out on some amazing stuff. And as always, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time at Chine Coaching. Cheers.